Hi, this is Christine. It is Thursday, October 8, 2015. It's in the morning slash, well, it's more like afternoon. It's around noon, like afternoon time. This is going to be a twofold video, I guess. The first part is going to be from my dream from last night. And the second part will be a video that I watched this morning. In my dream last night, I think I was with different versions of ages of myself, but I didn't realize it until near the end of the dream. There was a father who was like the dad of this girl that I had met. We were both around elementary school age. I also felt like the dad was my age, and like even though I was a child in this dream, I was also a grown woman, this father's age. But I know it was odd, but that's how the dream was playing out. So I was like both the child and an adult. The girl sitting next to me was showing me pictures of herself and her family as she was growing up, like we were thumbing through a photo album. I saw a picture of a girl who, now that I think about it, looked like me in the face, and she was about 9 or 10 years of age. She had a white dress on and was standing in the front yard of the house across the street at my parents' house. The strange thing is about this girl in this picture was that her hair was dyed red. It was also long and straight, kind of scraggly, and the red color looked like blood. So red hair with a white dress on. Yeah. And she just stood there in the yard across the street, in the neighbors, across the street from my parents' house, in the neighbor's front yard, looking at me or whoever was taking the photograph. It was supposed to be this girl who was sitting next to me showing me her photo album. But it was supposed to have been her, actually, at a younger age. Because it was her photo album. I realized that her blood red, long, straight hair was symbolic of a sacrifice, like a blood sacrifice. And like she was the sacrificial lamb. She stood there straight-faced in the picture, a bit like she was clueless. I asked the girl sitting next to me, who was showing me her photo album, if that was her. Because if it was, then that means that somehow I must have known her, or that she must have been living in my neighborhood, yet I had never met her or knew her back then. She said nothing to me. Then I realized the girl sitting next to me and the girl in the photo album pictures, I think, was me at different ages. Healing seems to have been taking place in this dream, as well as explanations and revealings. I looked up from the photo album, and with this girl still sitting next to me, and we were sitting on a front porch swing, on a front porch of, I guess it was the father's house. I saw the father, this girl's dad, on the other side of the porch in the distance. He was talking to someone on the phone. It was apparently his wife or his ex-wife. The conversation didn't sound like it was going very well. I think the wife was trying to get back together with him, but he was telling her why they broke up in the first place, and was reassuring her that nothing had really changed between either of them. He started walking over towards our side of the front porch and stood to the left of me. This is also how I was able to understand his conversation. I heard him tell her, "You never talked to me. You never told me what was on your heart. You never shared anything with me." And I guess that is why he didn't think things would work out between him and his wife or his ex-wife, because his ex-wife had never opened up to him. I remember for some reason standing up from the porch swing and stepping into him like I wanted to hug him, or I wanted him to hug me, or both, even though he was still on the phone with this woman. So it was kind of like an intrusion that I was doing. I saw him put his finger to his mouth, though, and gesture to me, shh, as if to remain quiet, for me to remain quiet, and not to interrupt his phone conversation with this woman on the other end of the phone. So I did. I stepped away from him, and I went and sat back down on the front porch swing. I remember thinking to myself how attractive he was to me at that moment, because he had taken control and had stopped me and had called the shots. And I liked that about him. It meant that I couldn't rule over him or have my way or do what I wanted and just go to him whenever I felt like it. He was actually telling me to wait a moment, and then when the time was right, he would be able to speak with me, and I found that very attractive and appealing about him. I did eventually get to hug him later, even though he was still on the phone talking with this woman, and again the whole conversation seemed to revolve or center around why the relationship between them didn't work, and it was because the woman on the phone wouldn't open up to him or talk to him or tell her what was on her heart. Even though things didn't seem to work out between him and this woman on the phone, this guy held me in his arms right there on the front porch with his phone still in his hand up to his ear, and I felt a love from him, like a man's love of both husband, lover, and father, all rolled up in one. It was masculine energy I was feeling, and it was wonderful. And then I woke up. So that was my dream from last night. Now I'm going to share with you what happened this morning. This is the second part of the video. Thanks, and have a great day. We'll talk to you soon.